Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Earlier today, Nebraska senior middle blocker Rebecca Alec was named AVCA National Player of the Week. She posted 2.86 kills per set and 1.71 blocks per set while hitting .406 on the weekend. She's the first Husker to win the award since Merritt Beeson in October of 2023. In other Husker volleyball news, yesterday Bergen Riley was named Big Ten Setter of the Week for the 10th time in her career. Rebecca Alec was named Defensive Player of the Week for the 3rd time, and Virginia Adriano was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week. And finally, 3 Husker golfers were named to the Big Ten Golfers to Watch list. Rudy Citrone, Evan McDermott, and Brody Cunningham were Nebraska's nominees on the list. The Big Reds start their season at the Island Resort Invitational in Michigan on August 31st. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
The siege and behind the screen, dances around, hezzy move, pump fake, out it comes to Jacobson, puts it up and in! Holy smokes! Way to go, Kale! Kale Jacobson from Ashland, Nebraska, into the starting lineup 3 games ago, hits a huge, humongous, gigundous 3.
Runs and deals. Ball swings and lets the fly ball to left. Sullivan going back to the wall, and it's good! Home run, Jordy Bull! A towering drive to left field by Jordy Bull, and that ties the school record for home runs in a season by a Husker. Allie Viola, you've got company. It's the best player in college softball with her 3rd home run of the weekend, Jordy Bull.
Bump set left. Almodovar's in the front row. She tips it. Doug. Huskers own it. Set left. Harper again. Over dig and out. Floyd Harper Murray in the Big Red. She's carried him. That's 18 kills for Harper. It's 25-24 Nebraska.
Now, here is your host, Nick Hanley, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Oh, cannot wait. One more sleep, folks. One more sleep, Husker Nation. And we've got the 2025 Husker football season. I was going to say college football season, but that already got underway last weekend. But Nebraska football, year 3 under Matt Rule. Tomorrow night, Arrowhead Stadium against Cincinnati. The wait is over. So glad you could be with us on this exciting Wednesday night of Sports Nightly. Of course, we have the Husker Football Coaches Show coming up in just a little bit. In fact, in our next segment, voice of the Huskers, Kyle Crooks, sat down and talked with Linebackers coach Rob Dvoracek. So that's what we got in hour number 1. And the Blitz. Camden Cohn's got you covered with that in hour number 1. Hour 2, I'm going to be talking with our man Kyle Crooks in the first segment, as not only is this a huge game for Nebraska and for Matt Rule, year number 3, and just getting the season, it all feels so right in the world right now when it comes to our college football fandom and our beloved Huskers. Well, Kyle Crooks also going to be obviously a little extra amped up, the debut of the new voice of Husker football. And, of course, we will be not only listening and watching, but we'll be doing so rooting Kyle on, but also with heavy hearts remembering our good friend Greg Sharp. Again, great to have you with us on a jam-packed show. And, folks, it's here. College football, Nebraska football, getting underway tomorrow night at Arrowhead Stadium. Our coverage on the Huskers Radio Network and all of our surrounding affiliates will get underway at 4 p.m. in the afternoon with Big Red Game Day, and then away we go. Kickoff 8 o'clock. I know a lot of you are making your way down to Kansas City, so what better way to get in on the Husker action and get amped for the season than listening to the pregame show. You can listen to all your various tailgates throughout Arrowhead Stadium's parking lot as well. I might just be doing the exact same thing as you tomorrow. I know I'll be out there, and I'm sure a lot of you will, but if you're staying back here in the great state of Nebraska, wherever you're listening to us and going to enjoy the game on TV, of course, we always encourage you to sync up the sound with our broadcast team of Kyle Crooks, Damon Benning, Jessica Coody, Ben McLaughlin, Matt Coatney, and the entire gang with you. So here we are, right? The 2025 season is right there on the doorstep for Nebraska. And I think everybody who is really looking forward to this, everybody who has talked about this, I think there is tangible reason to be excited for this 2025 season. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there saying, we've heard this every year, but I'll believe it when I see it. And I understand that. Totally understand the thought behind that. But when you think about the potential year 2 jump for Dylan Raiola, as we've talked about on this show, and as you heard throughout the local media for pretty much the entire fall camp, you can go back to spring camp, you watch Dylan Raiola and the way that he carries himself. This is a guy, there's a reason that the only underclassman that was voted in as a captain was Dylan Raiola. When you see him walk around, when you see him interact, and a lot of us have been down to those media availabilities and to those practices, and we've seen the way that Dylan interacts with some of those super seniors, those transfer seniors, and they talk to him like an equal. They talk to him like he is not only one of them, obviously, wearing the uniform, but a guy that has been there a lot longer than he has. Will that lead to results on the field? Well, there's definitely going to be a command of this offense and of this huddle. And then you look at, you parlay that into a full winter, spring, summer, and now fall camp with Dana Holgorsen. And so then you get Dylan Raiola getting in sync with a very, very talented play caller and offensive coordinator in Dana Holgorsen. But wait, that's not all, right? Because there's additions. There's the skill position upgrade. At least we hope it's an upgrade, right? A lot of reason to believe that it will be. Dane Key, another guy that I know Husker Nation's very excited to see. Can he be possibly that 1,000-yard receiver? But Isaiah Hunter, are we sleeping on him? There's a physical, big wide receiver that can create separation. I'm excited about year 2 jump, not only of Dylan Raiola, but of Ja'Cory Barney, because, again, everything we continue to hear from Dana Holgorsen, I like what DeKeel Shorts had to say about him as well, is he's maturing into being more of a complete receiver, not a guy who's just on the field and is very fast, but a guy who is a skilled route runner now, a guy that in this offense they can use in a variety of ways. But maybe the guy that I'm most intrigued to see in this offense and the overall jump that he's made physically, and that your eyeballs, if you've seen him, will tell you the case, but also what it will mean when he's got the pads on in the live game reps, and that's Emmett Johnson. Because that backfield, it's a little unproven behind him. But Emmett Johnson, I know there was a lot of times last year that we were sometimes wondering, is Emmett going to be in the mix more consistently? But when we saw Dana Holgorsen take over this offense, obviously he identified something that he really wanted to utilize, and you saw more consistency with the use of Emmett Johnson, and I think he's settled into that role. So will he be that alpha in that running back room, and will it show on the field? But then there's the offensive line, and folks, we know how important that is. We know that if this season is going to be a success, it is going to start with those guys up front, with Justin Evans at center, with Rocco Spindler and Henry Letufsky in the interior. And then you look at what could potentially be a solid rotation amongst the right and left tackle. But being able to find that consistency with this offensive line, whether we're talking about Gunnar Katula, Tyler Canuck, we're talking about Elijah Pritchett, we're talking about Teddy Prohaska, you've got options there. And then those guys being able to not only take that step forward, just have a consistent performance week in and week out, but be able to take that step forward where you feel confident with what you can do in the running game, but also protecting number 15. This offense looking to make that big jump. Could that be the big separator from a team that was a 6-win regular season team in 2024, obviously the 7th win in the bowl victory? Can that be the difference between a 6-7 win regular season to a potential ceiling? Whatever that ceiling might be. And I'm not going to say it, but I know, hey, there's some people that have gone as far as saying 11 wins. There are some people that have gone as far as saying 10 wins. 9, it might be your ceiling. Whatever it is, It's going to be exciting, but I think a lot of it is going to be on the offense. That's not to say that the defense doesn't have excitement around it. Obviously, that secondary with the depth that they have, I think is where you look at that side of the football and you think, okay, that's where this team is going to be at least early in the season at its strongest. But they're going to be only as good as what that group up front can do, getting pressure on the quarterback, allowing those guys to make plays in the secondary, and even the linebacking group. And I've been talking about him a lot in the offseason, but one of the guys that I think might be under the radar, not only just on this defense, but as one of the bigger playmakers and one of the bigger difference makers on this team entirely, in Javen Wright. If Javen Wright is healthy, Javen Wright, his size, his skill coming over from the secondary as a linebacker and working with the guy you're going to hear from here in just a moment, and Rob Dvoracek, I think all signs, as long as he stays healthy, all signs point to Javen Wright maybe being that playmaker and that difference maker in the middle level of this defense that can make a huge difference for that group up front as they come together. But, talking with guys like Dasan McCullough, it's so impressive to see his size, but also that ability, that quickness, that twitch. Really excited to see what this thing is going to look like, and we don't have to wait much longer. That's the beauty of this. As I mentioned, the Nebraska Football Coaches Show coming up next. Kyle Crooks had a chance to catch up with Linebackers coach Rob Dvoracek, and you're going to hear from Coach Dvoracek right after this here on Sports Nightly.
Pioneer brand Z-Series soybeans have farmers yielding out an additional 2.7 bushels per acre over A-Series. This has everyone talking, not just farmers. Case in point, a trucking company wrote, "Morning, noon, and night, it doesn't matter. I'm hauling Z-Series. The phone doesn't stop ringing. Even my home number, it never stops ringing." Well, it's fair to say Pioneer brand Z-Series soybeans are making quite an impact. Unleash your greatest harvest yet at pioneer.com/greatest yields.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Joe Methy in Kearney, Jackie Rowan in Lexington, or Megan Fales in Cozad today.
Woodhouse Hyundai makes it simple to shop for your next vehicle. Receive 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Hyundai Palisade. And when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Owner's Assurance. America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit us online at woodhousehyundai.com or woodhouseplacehyundai.com today. With approved credit, tax title, license extra. Must finance with Hyundai Motor Finance. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 9/125. See dealer for details.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
As the farmer challenges arise daily with the new enhanced Channel seed brand, you can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. That time as we make our way through the week, and happy to say the first week of an actual game. I was seeing some of you folks in the chat there talking about you're tired of talking season. You're ready to actually see a game. I'm right there with you. Speaking of talking, our man, voice of the Huskers, new voice of the Huskers, Mr. Kyle Crooks, had a chance to catch up with, talk about some of the major impact coaches on this staff. A guy that's been with Matt Rule from day one here in Lincoln, and even before that is Rob Dvoracek. And if you look at that linebacking crew and that group, even with a lot of the turnover that Rob Dvoracek has had with this group, you continue to see that group continue to elevate its play, and a lot of those players going through that developmental process looking pretty good. Here's Kyle Crooks with Rob Dvoracek.
All right, Coach, here we are, start of a new season. Good to chat with you, Rob Dvoracek, linebackers coach here at the University of Nebraska. And, I've been out at fall camp, see you guys working, especially the defense. How juiced up, how fired up are you to get this season going with these guys?
I'm excited. I know it's a long camp. It's a grind. They go through the summer. They go through fall camp, and I think we're finally ready to play someone else instead of hitting each other all day.
And that linebacker room, it's a really good group of guys. And one person that stands out to me just in terms of the leadership, perseverance, Javen Wright, with everything that he's gone through in his career, whether it's been the injuries or position switches. When you see somebody like that, how does he set the tone for the culture in your linebacker room?
Yeah, Javen obviously has been through a lot since he's been here. He's going on year 7. He always jokes with me like he's the same age as me, but I'm really proud of him. He's been through a lot since he's been here. He's a really tough, competitive, hardworking young man. He's a great example for the room. The guys look up to him. They see the things that he's gone through and the struggles, and obviously the things that he's done well as well. The position changes and just growing as a player, getting a single-digit black shirt guy. So just having him in the room and that type of leadership, especially for the other younger players, has been really good, and I'm thankful to have him. I'm really excited for the future with him.
Marquez Watson-Trent, getting him out of the transfer portal, and he did his media availability, I think it was last week, and he said, I play like I'm 6'5", 250. I don't think about, maybe being undersized for my position. And for him, it hasn't seemed to matter with the production he put up at Georgia Southern. But when you watch him, what sort of mindset does he come in onto that field with?
He's just a football player. Like, he's a football kid. He loves football. He's not a kid, a young man. He's just a competitor. I know he mentioned that about his size, and he doesn't play like he's small. He doesn't act like he's small. He just plays physical. He's a tough guy. Works hard. He loves football, always asking questions. He's been playing football for a long time and has a ton of production. So just a guy that's a hard-working guy, a blue-collar guy. He's the right fit for our program, and I'm glad he's here because he has some veteran leadership as well. He's been a captain at Georgia Southern. He's played a lot of football. He's played against Nebraska in the past. So just, he's a great fit for our program, exactly what we're looking for.
Jacob Bauer, you talk about right fit for a program, right? He epitomizes what Nebraska is all about, walk-on, turn scholarship, and now he's somebody who's in that rotation of guys that you count on. When you look at him in the spring that he had to make just a big jump in his production and who he is, how was he able to make such a big jump?
I think I'd give a lot of credit to him himself, but also some of the older guys here in the past, like having John around, and then he was here with Luke Reimer and Nick and those older guys when he first got here, and kind of just seeing how they worked. And he wanted to do that. He's like, how do I earn a scholarship? How do I earn my way to play on the field? And he's worked really hard. He's done everything we asked. He came in probably about 190 pounds when he first got here. He's over 220 pounds, and he's worked really hard in his nutrition, and Kristen and Corey and the strength staff have done an amazing job with him. He's just another guy that just kind of works his butt off and doesn't complain, does everything we ask, and he's eager to learn and continue to improve. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do this year.
Talking with Rob Dvoracek, linebackers coach here at Nebraska. John Bullock, great news in the NFL. Undrafted guy gets signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, somebody who really grinded out the opportunity to play at the next level. You coached him here at Nebraska. When you saw that news, how happy and proud were you?
I get the goosebumps talking about it. Just fired up for him and his family. Just another guy, like just a really tough blue-collar, hard-working guy. He was a walk-on here, safety who coach had moved to linebacker when we had got here, and just was a special teams player, had a role in that before we got here, and then just kind of, again, worked his butt off, did everything we asked. Just tough, hardworking. He's competitive. He did everything he could to get on the field and improve. I'm so fired up for him, and as you know, it's a brutal league. So just taking it day by day. I talked to him yesterday. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the process of it. Work your butt off. Embrace it. Just have fun while you do it.
How much easier does it make your job when you could show people example A of a John Bullock of they came in here as this and now they are this? Does it, when you talk to your players, I'm sure when you have an example like that, it can make things a lot easier as a coach.
I think for sure, because a lot of the guys in the room know John, so just kind of seeing the way that he worked and trusting in the process. And, Coach Rule hit on it yesterday, talking about John to our team, and just a guy who, embraced the process. And every day he came to work and worked on what he had to do to improve, and he did it, and obviously it paid off for him. So just to have that example, a guy that they know, not talking about players in the past, it's really cool for him. And I think it just shows, like, you do what the coaches ask of you, the strength staff, the nutrition, everything, all the resources we have here, you do those things at a high level and you're going to have good results.
Take me back to last year when, the DC change, John Butler takes over and now calling the defensive plays in that bowl game. I'm sure everybody's running around like your hair's on fire when you're getting ready for that game. And there's those, the big staff change at the DC spot. What was that time like?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting time. You're close with a lot of the guys on the staff, and so when things happen like that, you just kind of have to be in the moment. Like, what's happening right now? How do I take care of my players? How do I make sure that we're doing everything we can to take care of our guys? Number one, that's the most important thing, and not try to worry about everything else. Like, it'll take care of itself. Be in the moment. Do whatever I can to help the staff. Do whatever I can to help coach. Whatever I can do to help the players. Like, that's what it's all about. It's not about me. It's not about anyone else. It's about the players. So whatever's going on, it doesn't really matter. It's all about the guys.
John Butler, I heard he takes 25,000 steps a day. I've seen him coach a practice. He's probably one of the most animated human beings I've ever seen, but you need that sort of intensity. Yeah. Working closely with John Butler, what has that been like?
It's been really good. He's, as you said, he's high energy. He's very detailed oriented. He knows what he wants. We're able to work together well as a staff. He's clear with the players. It's been awesome to work for him. He's got great experience. Just everything that he's been through, being a coordinator before, being in the NFL for a long time. He's seen it at a really high level. He's done a great job. I love working for Coach Butler. It's been really fun.
You've been with Coach Rule now for a couple of stops as well. How much has he maybe grown up in this? Because you just learn more and more as you go to different stops. How much has maybe his confidence grown or his organization grown, just how he's become better, even better as a head coach?
Yeah, I've seen Coach, obviously I played for him at Temple and I've been with him at every stop. So I just seen the growth over the years and not even realizing it, probably seeing the growth, but just being part of that program with him and all the changes that we've had to make, changing culture, being part of new places, the recruiting aspect of things, dealing with players. It's really cool to see it grow over time and all the lessons that you learn, even from me as a player to coach, and just see all the things that we've changed, all the resources that we've added over the years, just ways to constantly improve. And that's really what I've learned from coaches, just like, how do I improve every day? Whether it's the players, myself, like, that's what it's about. Like, you can't be a dinosaur. Just continue to improve, continue to get better, no ego, and it's been really cool.
And while I have you, Cincinnati here, dual threat quarterback. They have a whole lot of speed, brand new wide receiving core, two different types of backs. You guys have been looking at Cincinnati for a long time now. When you see them and some of the new personnel they've brought in, what are the challenges there?
Yeah, I know Coach Butler talked about it a little bit yesterday, I think, in his press conference. Just obviously the quarterback is a competitor. He's a really good football player. He's tough. He'll run. He could throw the ball. They got two really good backs. Mm-hmm. They brought in some speed at the receiver position. So you're dealing with a team that's really competitive, that's going to come out there and play their brand of football. And so we got to do our job at a high level and play our brand of football.
What do you talk to the guys about? Arrowhead Stadium, full stadium, NFL, your national stage. Are those conversations in your room maybe as linebackers of, hey guys, I understand this is a big moment, but we still got to hone in on the details?
Absolutely. I know Coach Butler hit on it in our defensive unit meeting, just talking to the guys about just being in the moment. Don't lose your mind. Like, calm in the chaos, having poise. Just doing what we do every day. We go out there on Tuesdays and we compete at a really high level. It's about playing one snap at a time, competing, winning your rep. Don't worry about everything else going on. Just stay in the moment, be locked in, and play one snap at a time.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it, and best of luck in KC.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation, stands with farmers through every season, preparing the table to nourish families, communities, and the world. Everyone's welcome. Your seat is saved. So if you think about what Rob Dvoracek and Kyle were talking about there with that group, it is much like the entire front seven when we're talking about this somewhat unknown element of the Nebraska defense. That conversation doesn't begin without the potential of some significant talent. Now, we know what Javen Wright can do, and I spent some time talking about Javen Wright, and I mentioned Deshaun McCullough. You look at his previous stops at Indiana and Oklahoma, and again, a guy when healthy, but even starting to see the rise of Jordan Ochoa at that jack position. We saw what Willis McGahee could bring with just overall intensity and ability to get to the football back at the Pinstripe Bowl. But when I start looking at, he brought up Jacob Bauer, and that's a great story that I know a lot of Nebraska fans get behind, because you're looking at that walk-on that has developed himself into a scholarship-type player. There's a guy that's playing on the inside that's looking to be a big part of this. How about Dawson Merritt as a true freshman and a guy that is on a fast track to at least see some playing time? Now, whether that goes beyond the 4 games or not, we'll see. But there is definitely a group there between your linebackers, and he brought up another guy that I had a chance to talk to last week in Marquess Watson-Trent. And there's another guy, just like Rob Dvoracek talked about, who you can already tell the experience that he's had in college football makes it so much easier for this transition for a group, again, that we haven't necessarily seen collectively in a Husker uniform, but a group that is no stranger to college football. So early in the season, when you're looking at this front seven, we've seen Riley Van Poppel, we've seen other players, obviously Cam Lenhart and other guys up front, Elijah Judy, but we haven't seen them all together in the amount of reps that they're going to have together, just like that second level of this defense with the linebacking core. But make no mistake, there are guys that not only have talent but have college football experience too. So you hope that can lead to that front seven kind of clicking earlier than somebody say that just, not only are new faces, but lack that experience as well, especially experience as starters in their previous stops. We got the Blitz coming up just around the corner, but wanted to remind you to contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. The Blitz is next here on Sports Nightly.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
This life we love has never been easy. We've been blessed with million-dollar rains, and we've watched hope dry up. Still, we press on because our purpose is greater. Central Valley Ag prepares the table alongside our farmers, not just to grow food, but to nourish our families and our communities. At this table, everyone's welcome. Join us. We're saving you a seat. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See shelter agents Jeff Bond or Reed Duvall in Lincoln, or Agent Victoria Watkins in Nebraska City.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Welcome back inside the Akrs Broadcast Center. I'm Camden Cohn, and this is the Big Ten Blitz, presented by Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers.
This is the Big Ten Blitz, Ohio State.
Here to talk about the Buckeyes is Clay Hall, part of FanStream Sports in Columbus. Clay, Ohio State comes in as the reigning national champs after their fantastic end-of-the-season run last year. How are expectations around the fan base and program coming into this season?
Well, it's pretty much the same every year. When Urban Meyer turned over the reins to Ryan Day, he said, it's kind of an easy job. All you got to do is win every game. And so I think, and I like the way you put that, the reigning, because a lot of people would say, hey, the Bucs are the defending national champs. Ryan Day takes a little offense with that. He said, no, that trophy is neatly tucked away. We're beginning our assault on another one. We're not defending anything. So it's just a mega matchup in week one. I thought I read this weekend, first time in 37 years, the preseason number one is taking on the reigning national champion. So the build-up in Columbus, and I think probably in Austin too, at least it takes me back to 1995 when Notre Dame came in here. They'd only played, I think, 2 times before that. And it was Holtz against John Cooper's Buckeyes, 95 here and 96 in South Bend. But in 95, this place was just crazy. It was my first season to cover Ohio State. Police circled the field, and the ticket prices were out of sight. And so it was a great way to start kind of a 30-year, 3-decade run here in Columbus.
Ohio State will start a new quarterback after Will Howard's departure. What are you expecting from Julian Sayin as he gets to start this weekend against Texas?
Yeah, and as you probably know, you don't get to see a lot of practice. We did not view the 2 scrimmages. They say he has an incredible arm, comes off his the release is second to none, and he puts the ball where only his guy can catch it. Now, Texas is certainly going to try to put him under duress, and you just got to take care of the football. Ohio State usually does not lack for talent. That's certainly the case this year. But it is his coming out party, and I'm sure Ohio State's going to get after Arch Manning, and certainly we know the Longhorns are going to get after Julian Sayin.
Like you said, Clay, the Buckeyes host Texas for one of the most anticipated games really all season long. What do you feel like this game is going to come down to at the end?
Yeah, it's such a mystery in week one. I think both teams lost a lot on defense. A lot of eyes here in Central Ohio are on that defensive line for the Bucs. Can they? Because they lost 4 starters, and those 4 starters really became the anchor of the football team, though Jeremiah Smith's not bad either. But you've still got Caleb Downs in the secondary. They have a linebacking core that I think is second to none. Can those 4 guys in the defensive ditch, as I call it, led by Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry and Caden McDonald and Edric Houston, they've got to hold up and they've got to get some pressure.
Texas and Ohio State will kick off on Saturday at 11 Central on Fox. Thanks for your time, Clay, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
Northwestern.
Here to talk about the Wildcats is Louis Vaquer from Wildcat Report. Louis, Northwestern is coming off of a 4-8 season a year ago and David Braun's second season at the helm, but they bring in a highly successful transfer quarterback in Preston Stone to try and jumpstart this offense. What have you heard about Stone and how he's performed during fall camp leading into this week's matchup with Tulane?
Yeah, reports are very positive. Everybody is excited about what Preston Stone brings to the offense. Northwestern really struggled in the passing game last year, and they had 7 touchdown passes all season, which was, I think, better than only Air Force. And, Preston Stone is a guy that's thrown 35 touchdowns. He's thrown for 4,000 yards in his career. He's a smart quarterback. David Braun, the head coach, has talked about how quickly he processes things. He's a guy that knows where the ball is supposed to go, and then he's got the talent to get it there. People rave about his long ball, which hopefully can stretch the defense a little bit. And, Northwestern scored 17.8 points per game last year, which I think was 128th in the country. So that's the side of the ball they need to be much better on, and it all starts at the quarterback position, I think.
This is a Wildcats offense that has struggled offensively throughout last season. Do you think the offense takes a big step forward this season with Stone and some of the other playmakers that are around him?
Boy, I hope so. I think they have to. I mean, it's imperative. And, Northwestern in the last, since Clayton Thorson graduated, when they have an experienced grad transfer at quarterback, they had it in 2020 with Peyton Ramsey and then in 2023 with Ben Bryant. they did well. They made a bowl game. In 2020, they got to the Big Ten championship games. And when they don't have that, they struggle. So the hope is that Preston Stone can really lift the offense. They also will have 2 or 3 new starters that they brought in from the portal on the offensive line. They brought in their number 1 receiver, Griffin Wilde from South Dakota State. So they've done some things to the offense. They really addressed the needs they had last year. So now it's a question of how quickly it can come together and, what it looks like in week 1 on Saturday.
How do you expect the defense to perform this season?
Yeah, I think the defense will be just fine. They were solid last season. I think they didn't make a whole lot of big plays. They didn't get a lot of turnovers or negative plays, but they were a solid unit. And especially, I thought they played pretty well considering the offense gave them very little help. They got some bits and pieces that I think will bolster them. I think they should be a little bit better. So, when Northwestern has really been built on defense going back to the Pat Fitzgerald era, and I think they'll be pretty solid this season.
Well, Northwestern has a tough road test ahead of them as they head down to Louisiana to take on Tulane. How do you see this game playing out, Louis?
Yeah, this is a tough opener for Northwestern. I mean, I talked about they got a lot of new pieces coming into place, and you never know how long that takes to gel, especially on the offensive line and things like that. And then they go down to Tulane. It's a group of 5 powerhouse. There's some buzz that they could be an outside shot at a playoff team. And they lost quite a bit too, but on the road. And on top of that, you're playing in New Orleans on August 30th at 11 a.m. It's going to be hot and humid down there. That's another factor they got to watch. So they really didn't do themselves any favors. It's going to be a tough game. And, you're playing a group of 5 program would love nothing more than knocking off a Big Ten team. So this is going to be a big test. And if Northwestern wants to make a bowl game this year, this game is going to be pivotal. It's hard to see. If they drop it, it's going to be really tough to get that path to 6 wins. So this is a big game for the Wildcats.
Northwestern and Tulane will kick off Saturday at 11 Central on ESPNU. Thanks for your time, Louie.
Thanks for having me.
UCLA.
Here to talk about the Bruins is Wayne Cook from the UCLA Radio Network. Well, Wayne, UCLA made a big splash in the transfer portal this offseason as they were able to land former Tennessee quarterback Nico Iamaleava. What's the excitement level around the program about bringing in a quarterback like Nico into the program?
Oh, it's extremely exciting. I mean, there's only so many returning playoff quarterbacks that are 6'6" and can run and can throw and have played a lot of significant downs in a conference like the SEC. So getting him to come back home to UCLA was huge. And then when you add in the addition of Tino Sunseri, UCLA's new offensive coordinator that came over from Indiana, and we saw what they did last year as an offense, I just think those two together is going to be a huge addition to UCLA's football team.
Coming off of a 5-7 season last year, it seems like Coach Deshaun Foster and company made quite the roster overhaul as UCLA brought in 31 transfers. How do you expect these transfers to help this Bruins team make a jump, Wayne?
Well, I'm hopeful. We live in this era of transfer portal, and everybody is always going to say the culture's great. Everybody's coming together. But remember, you have to learn a lot of new terminology when you come in from somewhere else. And so, whether it's a quarterback or a defensive back, but what's been really cool is Coach Deshaun Foster has brought in a pretty new staff. I think they only retained like 3 coaches. All these coaches have been working their butts off to try and bring in transfers, to try and recruit. But I've just been extremely impressed with how hard this team works. They went away for camp. They didn't have camp on campus. And I think that brought to almost every player I've talked to has said, man, this is more of a team than I've ever been on. Like, they really seem to like each other, and I think that matters.
Well, the Bruins start their season with a battle at home against another former Pac-12 program in Utah. How do you see this game playing out, Wayne?
I think for both teams, I think it's huge. I mean, Utah had one of its worst years in a while, and we know that Coach Whittingham, he wants to get back on where they normally are at. I think most people are picking Utah to be one of the teams to beat in the Big 12 this year. A lot of people are even saying they're the sleeper, Arizona State of this year that are going to have a chance to make it to a playoff. I know they're excited about the offensive line, new quarterback, new offensive coordinator. That's all great. And I think UCLA is kind of in the same boat. 5-7 last year was not the season they wanted. Deshaun Foster's hungry to get better. So I just think this is a great game. It's very late. I hope everybody stays up to watch it because it's the game starts. Everybody's going to wake up and watch Ohio State and Texas. We'll stay up all day and end with UCLA, Utah, because this is a great matchup. As you said, an old school Pac-12 slugfest. And I'm excited because I just think it's an opportunity for both teams to show, how much they believe that they've improved. And I think whoever wins it, it's going to look great as they move on through their preseason, and they'll probably move up in the rankings pretty fast.
Utah and UCLA will kick off late Saturday night at 10 Central on Fox. Thanks for your time, Wayne, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right, man. Anytime.
This has been the Big Ten Blitz, presented by Groundworks. And our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. With more Sports Nightly coming up after this.
Step into a new era of luxury at Infinity of Omaha. Browse our inventory and enjoy special financing and limited time offers happening now. Receive 0% APR for 60 months or $6,000 in summer bonus cash on all 2025 Infinity QX60 inventory. Visit our showroom or shop online today at infinityofomaha.com with approved credit, tax, title, license extra. When financed with Infinity Financial Services, $299 doc fee due at signing. VIN number SC359090. Offer expires 9/2/2025. See dealer for details.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Mike Shepard or Craig Kerr in Lincoln, or Agent Jeff Martinez in Omaha today.
This summer, step into elevated luxury at Woodhouse Lincoln. Right now, during the Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event, you'll receive 0% APR for up to 48 months on all 2025 Lincoln Nautilus inventory, plus an available 90-day deferred first payment and a 2-year 25,000 miles premium maintenance plan included. Browse our inventory in-store or online today. Woodhouse Lincoln, the Omaha Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer. With approved credit, must finance with Lincoln Automotive Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires August 31st, 2025. See dealer for details.
In football and retirement, strategy wins. Stonebridge Wealth Systems Retirement Compass could be your winning strategy. Holistic planning with integrity for your future. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Final segment here, hour 1 of Sports Nightly, eve of the season. Yes, doesn't that sound nice? I think that sounds pretty nice right now. Nebraska, Cincinnati, don't forget pregame coverage gets underway on the Huskers Radio Network at 4 o'clock, wherever you get Nebraska football. Whether you're listening to us on the radio, if you're streaming wherever you are, Husker Nation, we got pregame coverage. Going to be great with Husker Game Day getting underway. Ben McLaughlin and the crew, Matt Coatney as well, Jessica Coody, and then Kyle Crooks, Damon Betting, getting you into the game. Good little discussion going on the chat right now, and I thought this was actually a really good point brought up by Bone-Led Corn-Fed. He said he thinks that Nebraska will be playing a little bit of a 4-2-5 against Cincinnati. Now, you heard Rob Dvoracek talking about some of the concerns, and we're going to talk to Kyle Crooks in the first segment of hour number 2 on maybe some of the things that he's looking at in his Cincinnati prep that should be a concern for Nebraska. But anytime you're talking about what this team wants to do, Cincinnati, there where they do have a little bit of variety with the running back, and they do still want to have a little bit more of that Big 12 up-tempo style type of offense, but a dual threat quarterback in Brendan Sorsby. So if you're looking at trying to maximize what I think not only is your speed but your strength, I'm with, again, I want to make sure I say it right, bone, lead, and corn fed. I'm with him where I think it's an astute point that you could see a little bit more nickel. You could be seeing a little bit more of Malcolm Hartzog asserting himself in the game early on. Obviously, with the depth that Nebraska has, not only with the corner position in Sierra Wright and Andrew Marshall, but looking at guys like Donovan Jones, looking at guys like Jeremiah Charles, even a Jameer Khan, could see some Caleb Benning in the mix as well. Just seeing guys in that rover position with Deshaun Singleton and Rex Guthrie, that there are a lot of bodies, not only that, as they're talking about the linebacking position, where there's definitely some potential for that group to come together. This is the strength of the defense. Make no mistake about it. So if you are utilizing that depth and putting some of those guys like a Donovan Jones or like a Caleb Benning, like a Jameer Khan, and you're getting those guys out there on the field alongside with the guys that are listed at number one on the depth chart, wouldn't be shocked by that. Again, maximizing speed, being able to cover a lot of the zones out there that Cincinnati's looking to attack. That's not to say they're playing zone, but you know what I'm saying. It's trying to really eliminate a lot of what Cincinnati can do offensively and trying to suffocate Sorsby to not get on the outside, but trying to really funnel him back in and let the linebackers take care of it. But a good point there was made there on the chat. I wanted to let you know, coming up in hour two, I mentioned going to be talking to Kyle Crooks. We will have our week number 2 picks for the college football slate. Good stuff from Camden Cohn and the Big Ten Blitz there too. Interesting stuff as you're hearing about Ohio State. And I thought it was anytime you're a defending national champion and you're hosting a team that is preseason number 1 like Texas. And I don't know, maybe I've been listening to different people than what you have, but I would say this, it does feel like even Texas going on the road is getting a lot more praise and a lot more hype about what type of team they're going to have. And I give Steve Sarkisian a lot of credit for being able to, what I think, kind of establish a little bit more of a tough-minded culture there at Texas. They've always been able to get the recruits, and I know it's not always apropos to be talking high about Texas, but you got to give Steve Sarkisian some credit. But isn't there something about Ryan Day, a little edgy? We remember last year in the Nebraska game when they were coming off of that loss to Oregon, then they had the bye week going into that game against Nebraska. I mean, it was a very, I would say, very somber type of mood around that team and a little bit of soul searching, a little bit of an identity crisis. And I thought that edge, and remember, obviously Ohio State holds on to beat Nebraska, but the Huskers were right there on the doorstep to pull that upset. I think Ohio State was reeling a little bit, and I honestly thought that would be their undoing. Then they lose to Michigan later on to wrap up the regular season. You're thinking, yeah, this is. I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs, but this isn't going to go well. And I mean, they really turned it on. I think they used that edge that they had a little bit more to their advantage. So I just get the feeling that when you start to doubt Ohio State is where I feel like Ryan Day does some of his best work so far. And he's got now a national championship. He's very close to getting to another one before that game against Georgia, of course, the field goal, all of that. So I think that if you're overlooking Ohio State in this matchup, I think you might be just maybe misreading a little bit of what that team is. Of course, I think the best player on the field is wearing an Ohio State uniform in Jeremiah Smith. Coming up in hour number 2, going to lead things off with voice of Husker football, Kyle Crooks. We'll get a live update out in Kansas City to see get his thoughts and see how the Huskers are faring as they get ready to settle in and wake up for game day. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is coming your way and also brought to you by Woodhouse. Been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Hour 2 coming up next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Shop Woodhouse Mazda during the Mazda More to Move You sales event. Receive 1.9% APR for 60 months on the full lineup of 2025 Mazda CX-50s and Mazda CX-50 hybrids, plus no payments for 90 days. Visit us in Bellevue or off 144th and Giles Road today. With approved credit, tax title license extra. When financed through Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 9/2/25. See dealer for details.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Earlier today, Nebraska's senior middle blocker Rebecca Alec was named the ABCA National Player of the Week. She posted 2.86 kills per set and 1.71 blocks per set, while hitting .406 on the weekend. She's the first Husker to win the award since Merritt Beeson in October of 2023. In other Husker volleyball news, yesterday, Bergen Riley was named Big Ten Setter of the Week for the 10th time in her career. Rebecca Alec was named Defensive Player of the Week for the 3rd time, and Virginia Adriano was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week. And finally, 3 Husker golfers were named to the Big Ten Golfers to Watch list. Rudy Citrone, Evan McDermott, and Brody Cunningham are Nebraska's nominees on the list. The Big Reds start their season at the Island Resort Invitational in Michigan on August 31st. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Pianto set first offering. That ball's driven up the middle. Coming around third is Dylan Carey. The throw is offline. The Huskers win it. The Huskers win it. Nebraska will march on.
Wing to the near side. Snap back. Has some time. Steps, throws down the field. The pass is intercepted. Picked off by Sierra Wright to the 30, 25, 20. Sierra down the near sideline. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Sierra Wright with a pick 6 for Nebraska. And the Huskers have taken the lead on the road.
Rimdahl, a couple of ball fakes, bounces into Prince at half court. And Prince is going to make a run on a falter. Steps back for 3 to tie the game. You betcha! Biggest shot of that freshman's young career. Timeout. We're tied at 75. Britt Prince is 19. She steps back and sticks a three-pointer, her 5th of the night.
Now, here is your host, Nick Hanley, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Sports Nightly, here on the eve of the 2025 Husker football season. Nick Handley with you. Appreciate you being with us. I know you're as excited as we are to get this season started. We're going to be giving our weekly picks coming up. In fact, I'll be doing mine at the end, but all of the guys and girls that got involved in this one have their picks as well, as we've got the crew on the road. I want to remind you that the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. And speaking of the broadcast center, we've made our broadcast center, at least temporarily in Kansas City, our home for tomorrow night's big matchup between Nebraska and Cincinnati to get the season started. And I know a guy who is probably a little extra excited than all of us that are just normally excited to get the college football season is our newest edition of the Huskers Radio Network and the new voice of Husker football, Kyle Crooks, kind enough to join us in the press box out there at GEHA. We're not going to make them do it. Arrowhead Stadium, where they have set up shop and getting ready for tomorrow. So, Kyle, it's here. The wait is over, and I know for you, you've had your line chart, you've had everything, your spot chart ready to rock and roll for like over a month now. But here we are, man. I know you are extremely excited to get this going.
I think we're lucky that we're sealed in here. I think my excitement would take me out of this booth just kind of on a leap. But it's a really cool place. First time inside Arrowhead Stadium, and great grass surface similar to what we have at the practice field at Hawks. And you have the Kansas City Classic logo, Nebraska end zone to my right, Cincinnati end zone to my left. The team was just doing a walkthrough down on the field, and Andy Reid was talking to the team. So they're fired up and ready to go. And as you said, I mean, I'm pretty fired up and ready to go. You know, it seems like it's taken forever to get to this point in time, but as I look out to the ribbon boards and see the Nebraska logo and the Cincinnati logo, and this place is lit up specifically for this game, as I sit here and I look over this field, it's an honor to be here, and it almost kind of gets me a little emotional.
Well, and when you think about just what this not only this venture for you and getting here and having a chance to welcome in Husker Nation to the 2025 season. You mentioned it. I can only imagine the emotions you're going through. Have you given any thought how much sleep you want to get on a minimum tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably be at like 3 hours sleep tonight. I don't know. So, what's funny, Nick, is Jess and Ben know, but I've been, of all the times to get sort of sick, I kind of have a mini cold going right now. Like you would think, how hilarious is that of all the weeks to get sick on late August in the summer? Nobody gets a common cold, right? Except this guy. So I'm kind of under the weather right now, but feeling a little better. I'm on the mend, and we were talking about TikTok remedies on our drive here from Lincoln to Kansas City and how to get over a cold and how Jessica used to put potatoes in her socks and things like that. So I didn't go that far. I took a lot of vitamin C and ready to go, but I know what this position means to a lot of people around here, including my colleagues, and the pride they put into this product. And, of course, Greg Sharp for 17 seasons. He was the absolute best. He was a broadcaster built in a lab in terms of the booming voice, but there was more to that. There's more to this position. There's more to what Greg meant to this place. It's the connection to the people and the diehard fans. I told this story on our social media hit that I took earlier today that we'll put on X here in a little bit. But we were driving down, stopped at a gas station in Missouri somewhere, driving here to Kansas City, and there was a fan leaving the bathroom, and he saw my Husker logo, pointed at it, and said, "Oh, I love that. I love that logo." And he asked me, "Are you going to the game tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, I'm the new radio announcer." And he said, "Oh, I saw you online." And we shook hands, and he told me his story about how he's a long-time season ticket holder and where his seats are. And just like that, the connection was made. And he said that Husker Nation, once you're one of us forever. And that was kind of a really cool line to get the night before of kickoff of the first game.
Yeah, and you said it extremely well there, Kyle. Hearts are going to be heavy for missing our friend Greg Sharp, but also excitement to welcome you in and to see you just kick this season off throughout the airwaves, which I'm excited for. And I think what a lot of people are finally tired of everybody talking about, of what this season's going to look like, the things that you have seen in camp, the things that you have heard in camp and from coaches and players. But you've been covering college football for a very long time. And, Kyle, I know you're dialed into this thing. What is your gut telling you about what you're seeing and what fans can look forward to in this 25 season?
Well, that's a really good team, and I think the most important quality of a really good football team is the coach and the quarterback, and you got those two things. Matt Rule, being around him, we did our pregame interview yesterday, just the leadership qualities in which he goes about a camp or just his weekly media appearances, the way that he captivates a room. He's a true leader. He was meant to be a coach, but specifically a college coach. And more and more conversation around year 3 and all of that, but I think he just has his best roster here, and it's led by a quarterback that is going to be playing in this stadium down the line as an NFL player, possibly as a first-round pick. I think Dillon's is set from not just the physical, tangible things have always been there. He's a 5-star recruit that could have gone to Ohio State, could have gone to Georgia, but it's the mental side of the mental acuity that it takes to play this game. I think it's going to slow down for him considerably this year, and for the entire offense. Dana Holgorsen, over the last 3 or 4 games, was drinking out of a fire hose, and now, he talked this week, and he knows this offense inside out. He's been able to have a full off season with Dillon, and then everything around that really falls into place. I'm eager to see if Dane Key can have a 1,000-yard season on the outside. Ja'Cory Barney almost becomes, to some, an afterthought because of you're talking about all these new pieces, but Ja'Cory Barney is somebody who could be one of the best versatile pieces in this league because he could be a key part in terms of the punt return game. And then defensively, the biggest question mark that you had coming into the season, and maybe still do until a game is played, although this group has a high ceiling, that's the defensive line. I think there's enough depth there. Is it proven? That's got to be seen. A guy like Cam Lenhart, can he get back to what we saw a couple of years ago? Elijah Judy, his first big chance to be the guy at the center of that defense. There's a reason that Riley Van Poppel got a single-digit number. Williams Winery, he really popped in fall camp. He has the size and everything. He's got an NFL body right now, and he was listed as a starter to a lot of people's surprise on that first depth chart. And I think that secondary is probably the most proven commodity in terms of returning starters. You have 4 starters that come back, and you have 3 captains alone in the secondary. So John Butler also is going to be a big storyline, right, Nick? Because he's somebody who wants to bring a lot of pressure, play aggressive man-to-man coverage on the outside. He's gonna do both of those things and try to get Brendan Sorsby off his spot as a running quarterback. And I think all the horses are here. Does it come together? Well, you got to play the games.
I just want to keep you for one quick more segment. I know, hey, it's dinner time too. You're in Kansas City, so you need to get something really good to eat tonight. But you mentioned Cincinnati. You mentioned Sorsby. What about this Cincinnati team do you think does raise some concern for both, all 3 phases, quite frankly?
Yeah, I think the most concerning part, if you're a Husker fan coming in, is the dual threat ability of the guy taking the snaps, and that's Brendan Sorsby. He's had 19 Power 4 starts. He's a veteran, 21 years old. So he was a starter at Indiana for a season, had a pretty good year last year, pretty solid touchdown to interception ratio, 18 touchdowns, 7 INTs, but the number that really pops, 9 rushing touchdowns. So he's a willing runner. He's not going to take off and run right away, but they'll run some design stuff for him, and he's very capable. So that comes down to the discipline in game 1 from the Husker defense, especially at those jack positions, to make sure that you're containing the edge. And they have a lot of speed in their wide receiving core, Nick. So they essentially replacing their entire wide receiving room. Their top 3 targets, you'll hear a lot, Cyrus Allen, Caleb Goody, and Jeff Caldwell, all have ridiculous track star speed. It's an offense that didn't have that big playability last year. This year, I think that might be a little bit different. And in that running back room, Tobby Walker was a big part of when Wisconsin came to Memorial Stadium last year. They have a lightning and thunder tandem in the backfield of Tobby Walker and Evan Pryor, which certainly will test the Huskers. And defensively, they're getting a lot of guys back, Nick, especially the one name you're going to hear a lot, 5th-year nose tackle, is 335 pounds. Dante Corleone, they call him the Godfather, 2-time All-American. He's going to really try and screw some things up for that core 3, as I put it, on the Husker offensive line of Lutowski, and you have obviously for the Huskers, Evans and Spindler. So that core 3 is he's gonna really make things difficult to get that run game going. That's the big name defensively for Cincinnati. It's going to give you some trouble.
And as Dana Holgerson said, retired his previous center. That's how good Corleone is. So it's going to be crazy atmosphere tomorrow night. Can't wait for it. And Kyle, I think you can rest easy knowing that you will have several hundred thousands behind you in the booth tomorrow night, my man. I cannot wait to hear it. Just get some rest, and hey, get better, man. We can't have you even at 75% tomorrow. Got to get better, but make sure you get some barbecue before you go to bed.
I'm kind of liking this lower baritone voice that I get with this cold, but you're right. I got to get healthy and get some rest. I appreciate your support throughout everything and your help hosting Sports Nightly over the last few months here, and grateful for you, my man, and appreciate it, and I can't wait to get this thing going.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. We'll see you down there at Arrowhead, buddy.
All right. Sounds good, Nick.
That is Kyle Crooks, voice of the Huskers. Again, kickoff tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Arrowhead Stadium. We're going to talk more about this matchup before we get out of here. But coming up next here on Sports Nightly, the volleyball team on a big weekend road trip as well, including a showdown against Kentucky. We'll get into that. We've got picks. We've got plenty more here in Hour 2 of Sports Nightly. Don't go anywhere.
Experience exceptional quality and lasting value at Woodhouse Toyota. Lease the 2025 Toyota Corolla Hybrid XLE forward-wheel drive for $250 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Visit us in-store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at WoodhouseToyota.com. Woodhouse Toyota. Let's go places. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. Security deposit waived. $24.99 down payment plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GT250217. Offer expires 8/31/2025. See dealer for details.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
When you buy a Subaru, you're buying more than a vehicle. You're buying safety for your family, an investment that will hold its value, and something that will last a long, long time. In fewer words, you're buying trust. And for a limited time, you can celebrate with special offers during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, now through September 2nd. Get special low rates on select new Subaru vehicles now through September 2nd. Visit Duto Subaru in Lincoln and online at dutosubaru.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
No matter what you're looking for, you'll find it at Woodhouse. We carry a wide selection of trusted brands across more than 20 locations, offering everything from efficient daily drivers to bold new EVs and family-ready SUVs. At Woodhouse, we put your experience first, offering expert guidance and a trusted team that's guaranteed to help you find the right vehicle. Visit a location near you or start shopping online at woodhouse.com. More ways to drive, more reasons to trust. This is Woodhouse.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Matt Moorhead or Joanne Shamanek in Lincoln or Scott Jeffers in McCook today.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Football and retirement strategy wins. Stonebridge Wealth Systems Retirement Compass could be your winning strategy. Holistic planning with integrity for your future. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Welcome back. Sports Nightly. Good stuff there from Kyle Crooks. Again, pregame coverage with Husker Game Day gets underway at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Kickoff 8 o'clock from GEHA. Can't say it. Just got to say Arrowhead Stadium. 8 o'clock for that one, Nebraska and Cincinnati. Husker volleyball team, very impressive this past week against Pitt. And then, of course, that clean sweep against Stanford, against a legitimate top 10 team. Huskers are going to be in the great state of Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. They'll be taking on Lipscomb Friday night. That'll be at 6 o'clock at the Allen Arena in Nashville. And then on Sunday, it'll be the Broadway Block Party. This is a nationally televised ABC audience game. Sunday after, or I should say Sunday morning, they get the morning tilt against 7th-ranked Kentucky, 11 a.m. for that match as Nebraska continuing to go through the gauntlet here in the non-conference. But my goodness, I mean, if you look at what they did against Stanford, serving notice, preseason number 1, we know that can sometimes mean very little, but it also does provide a major target, especially when you have the non-conference slate that the Nebraska volleyball team has. You talk about responding in kind, though, and reminding people there was a reason why this team was the preseason number one team. The way that they handled business, not only against Pitt, but especially against Stanford. Annie Jackson and Rebecca Alec were fantastic. Both were named AVCA's MVP against Pittsburgh. Jackson was, and then, of course, Alec was the MVP in the Stanford match. You did get Big Ten honors with some Huskers as well, as the Big Ten announced their honors, as was discussed earlier this week, as it was Nebraska, Bergen Riley being the Big Ten setter of the week and leading Nebraska in those 2 top 10 victories, averaging 10.86 assists. And then Rebecca Alec was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week, as she had 1.71 blocks per set and 2.86 kills per set, hitting a really impressive 406. And then Adriano, the opposite hitter, conference's Freshman of the Week. She was outstanding. Just, again, seeing her adding to just what Virginia Adriano was able to do in her debut with Nebraska, the Italian freshman, good as advertised. Very impressive. Good stuff from Nebraska all around. So it'd be great to see them this week. And again, in the national spotlight, how about the viewership as well? Huge numbers watching Husker volleyball, and we're seeing the sport and Nebraska leading the way as it continues to grow with that national television audience, and you're seeing those numbers come in and look very, very good. Getting back to, again, a little bit of the football conversation, we're going to have our picks here in just a moment, as everyone, before they headed out to Kansas City, they got together, gave their picks. I'll do mine afterwards. But getting back to Nebraska and Cincinnati, it's, again, a game that we were looking at some of the numbers coming in to this matchup. A lot of you know by now, Cincinnati, they got off to a pretty solid 5-2 start, but then they end the season on a 5-game losing streak. In that run, 2 of their losses were one-score defeats. As we know, Nebraska, 5-1 to start off the season. Then they go in that little 5-game losing streak before they're able to draw even and get that victory against Wisconsin, become bowl eligible, and then finish the remainder of their games. The regular season, a close loss to Iowa, but then the bowl victory in the Pinstripe Bowl over Boston College. But as we know, that losing streak did have itself 3 one-loss games in there too. So for Nebraska and Cincinnati, looking to try to not only set the tone like they did a year ago, but be able to sustain that success. And that is going to be the big thing for this Nebraska team. We talk about the importance, and Matt Rule discussed it yesterday, about the importance of you play those Power 4, Power 5 teams right out of the gate, and there's a little bit more intentionality when it comes to fall camp. It does sharpen the focus a little bit that much more when you know you're playing a Power 4 conference opponent like Nebraska has tomorrow night against Cincinnati. But I think also for Nebraska is just being able to obviously get out on to the right start. It doesn't matter who you're playing, get out to the right start, get off to the right start, that is. But then being able to find that consistent success, even if you get a victory tomorrow night, being able to see that improvement between week 1 and week 2. And obviously Cincinnati's trying to do the exact same thing. They know how they both had those losing streaks there in the second half of their seasons, if they're trying to be able to reset, start it back up, and be able to sustain that success. I mean, that is going to be obviously the major goal for Nebraska, but also don't forget about Cincinnati, that they feel like they've definitely got to get back on the winning side of things, the way that their season ended and coming short of a bowl opportunity last year. All right, when we come back, we will have our Week 2 picks as we continue. Also wanted to remind you, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. More coming up here on Sports Nightly.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Jan from Toyota here with live coverage of end of summer fun at Toyota's national sales event with my special guest, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Jan. Let's get into it.
Down by the lake for some fishing, we've got Eric in his Tundra. He throws his line, and he's going long!
Heck of a team effort there. That Tundra got him exactly where he needed to be.
There's excitement in the stadium parking lot with the Davis family tailgating in their new Sequoia.
All eyes are on Dad manning the grill. He grabs some buns from the cargo area of the Sequoia and flips. And look at that! What a way to close this one out.
Sure was, Eli. Until next time, go Toyota!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Tanya Blaine in Norfolk, Grant Wilbeck in Omaha, or Bud Morrell in Ocala.
At Woodhouse, we're with you every step of the way. With more than 20 locations and brands, you'll find options that fit your lifestyle. Whether you're looking for your first car, your next SUV, or something built to tow and haul. Enjoy straightforward pricing, helpful guidance, and a dealer experience built around you. Visit one of our convenient locations today or explore your options online at woodhouse.com. Serving our customers for 50 years, this is Woodhouse.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by
Akrs,
the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more.
Akrs,
solutions for every field. The sounds of the big dog means it's time for another segment of picks. Kyle, that's been a thing that we started. People love it. I had a request for it last week. So, Searles, you delivered. Mid-season form.
Like I said, stay ready. You stay ready. You don't have to get ready.
Well, we know who Jessica likes better because she doesn't ask me to do any of that type of stuff. So, to start this segment, I'm a little hurt.
Rookies earn their stripes, Kyle. I told you, you're a rookie this year. You got to earn your stripes.
Not only because my picks were miserable in week 0, but
I'm surprised you're here. I thought you quit.
I was on the verge.
In our group chat, you quit.
But I was brought back. Stanford was the pick that put me on the verge of essentially saying I've had enough. And before week 1 is ever kicked off, I was getting ready to give this whole charade up. But I'm re-energized, rejuvenated, and I feel passionate about week 1.
Okay, of course. Talk about taking us on a roller coaster. He was like talking all this trash. Then he's about to quit. Now he's back.
We're back.
I mean, after watching what Idaho State almost did to his boy there, I can see that one was
It was
also
a 26-point spread, and they won by a touchdown.
You were giving him a lot of love last week, and I was like, he might not survive week 0.
It's tough for my man, Dan.
All right, so give it up for our weekly winner. Camden goes a perfect 5-0, the only one to get everyone right. Yeah. Josh, myself, the interns go 4-1, and Kyle and Searles off to a blistering start at 3-2 overall.
Wow.
Okay, so we're over 500.
Yeah.
We're all right. Andrew Luck has not got it rolling in the Cardinal. That's not what I anticipated there.
All right, so we've got a full slate of games this week. 10 games to pick this week. Josh is doing the honors of picking them out this week, so I appreciate that. And again, our Big Ten picks brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. Let's start Friday night, Big 12 action. Couple of big-time Big 12 games on Friday night. The blackout on the Brazos. Auburn at Baylor, 7 o'clock on Fox. It's a sellout in Waco, Auburn. 2.5-point favorite going into this. Camden, you are the weekly winner, so you get to start.
I'm going to go with the home team. I'll go with Baylor, beating Auburn.
Going with the home field. Like it.
Kyle?
Am I up?
Yep.
Well, unfortunately, Camden, I'm also going with Baylor, so your luck isn't in a good spot there. Bryson Washington comes back. He's a big part of their offense. They have a lot of offensive weapons that return. I'm formerly an SEC guy, so I'm just not convinced with Hugh Freeze and Auburn. Give me Baylor.
Mm-hmm. I really thought you'd go Auburn in this one.
No.
Searles?
Yeah, I'm going Baylor as well. I think it's going to be a really interesting game as far as when you look at the strengths of both those teams. It's the Auburn run game, versus the Baylor defensive front. I think I give the nod to the Baylor defensive front. I think that they had a lot of stuff going on there last year, and I'm excited to see what they'll pick back up and see. But bear down, sick them.
Josh?
Too much golf for Hugh Freeze this offseason, so I'm going with Baylor as well. I don't want to now that pretty much everybody else has. But
I thought I'd be one of the only ones picking Baylor, but those Baptists can party on a Friday night in Waco. I've experienced it for myself. I think it's going to be a rocking atmosphere, so I'm going with Baylor in the home team. Okay, so Georgia Tech at Colorado, 7 o'clock on ESPN. So these two will be going at the same time. Georgia Tech comes in just under a 5-point favorite, 4.5-point favorite over Colorado. Kyle, you're up first in this one.
My lasting impression of Georgia Tech, who has their quarterback coming back in Haynes King, 6-year player, back-to-back 2,000-yard passing seasons. My lasting memory of them almost beating Georgia between the hedges. Give me Georgia Tech.
All right, Searles?
I like Georgia Tech, too. This Colorado team, they lose Travis Hunter. They lose Shadur Sanders, Jimmy Horn. Right? They lost a lot of pieces. And so many times last year, it was just, hey, Shadur and Travis, go get us out of this game and let's get out of here. And I'm just not sold that they have the pieces to be able to do that again. So obviously never Colorado either. So Georgia Tech.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm kind of along the same lines thinking there. I just don't know if Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders, if they have enough talent to replace them. So maybe they have a good football team, but I have to see it first. I'm back to doubting the Buffs. So I'm going Georgia Tech.
Not so fast. Listen, Deion Sanders has been really good in season openers. The offensive line supposedly, Searles, has improved for Colorado. Believe it when I see it, but still, at home, give me the Buffs. Camden?
Gross.
Not going with the Buffs.
Oh, am I on an island?
I'm going Georgia
Yes.
Tech. I like the 6th-year quarterback. I don't think going on the road is going to affect him at all. And like everyone else has said, losing Shadur and Travis, I don't know where that production is going to come from. Maybe they'll get it later in the season, but don't really see it week 1.
Searles, I stacked this up to strategically be able to come to you first for this one. Your favorite team in the Big Ten, Northwestern at Tulane. Yes. The Green Wave come in with about a 6-point favorite in this, 11 a.m. on ESPNU. Searles, what do you got?
The Green Wave they're trying to be kings of the group of 5, and I don't blame them. They had a great year last year. They're continuing to bring back talent. They retained some top talent, even with the transfer portal being what it is. Northwestern is just trying to figure their lives out in purple. I think that the Green Wave rolls.
Josh?
I'm going purely off of the Green Wave is one of my favorite team names in all of college football. So
team name pick.
That's all you need.
It never fails. When I pick Northwestern, they lose. When I pick against them, they win. And so I'm going with Tulane and probably get it wrong. So, Camden?
Northwestern does have a transfer quarterback. I did the Blitz this week, and so I heard all about their transfer quarterback, Preston Stone. But going on the road to, again, a group of 5 power in Tulane, I'm going to go with Tulane beating Northwestern.
Well, Stone will be stonewalled this weekend. Give me Tulane. Nine games they won last year. They, like Cyril's mentioned, they have some guys coming back. Top 16 offense, top 25 defense. Give me the Green Wave.
Man, not much difference here. Let's see if we can mix it up here. Nobody will even be watching Northwestern at Tulane because you know what else is on? Number 1, Texas. At number 3, Ohio State. Big noon kickoff, 11 a.m., which means it's about 11:20 kickoff. Buckeyes favored by 2.5 points. Josh, you're up first in this one. How about that?
Thanks. Love it. No,
Hey, come on, Josh, set the tone.
I've gone back and forth on this one basically all off season because we've known that this is going to be one of the big games of the whole year. So I finally decided it's going to come down to horseshoe magic. It's at home for Ohio State. So that's the deciding factor for me.
I am not going to hook them. So give me the Buckeyes at home as well. Camden?
I'm going to hook them. I'll go Texas and Arch Manning. I'm going to go with Manning over Julian Sayin for Ohio State. Just don't know quite what he's capable of, even though I'm sure he's an excellent recruit, highly recruited to Ohio State. But I'll go with Texas to be different.
Now, Arch Manning did have some experience last year. I think the true freshman aspect of throwing Julian Sayin in there as a starting quarterback for Ohio State. Give me the Texas Longhorns.
Ooh, Kyle's SEC bias there. Searles?
Newly SEC. They don't really count.
Man, I still am torn on this one because you look at it roster for roster, you look at it position by position, and you can go back and forth. And I know we're talking about the quarterback, but I think Ohio State's defense is going to be slightly underrated on that realm there. And, so I think I'm going to go with Ohio State to hold Arch Manning in check. That stadium's going to be absolutely bananas. And tell me the last time the number 1 team in the country was a dog headed into their first game of the year. I mean, I can't imagine that's ever happened.
Because I said that when they released the poll. I don't think it's ever happened before.
Yeah,
so
unbelievable. But, yeah, give me Ohio State, OHIO.
All right, Alabama at Florida State, 2:30 on ABC on Saturday. 13.5 point favorite is Alabama. Cantoni White's new defense there at Florida State. Slow down Bama. I say no. I'm going to go with the favorite and Bama. Camden?
I'll also go with Alabama.
Kyle?
Just got off the phone with my buddy Roger Hoover, who's a member of the broadcast team of the Alabama Crimson Tide. I don't think Florida State is any good. They were not good last year. I don't think they'll be very good this year. They got Castellanos from BC who came in and beat them last year, but I just don't think Florida State's very good. Alabama, they're in between. You don't really know what they might be, but they're much better than Florida State.
Yeah. Searles?
Yeah, I mean, Kalen DeBoer's got that thing in an interesting spot in Alabama, but he still has a lot of Saban leftovers. He still has a lot of high-profile recruits down there. I mean, it's kind of a sign. DJ Dudu got cut today, so Florida State's going to get beat this weekend. Alabama, roll tide.
Yeah, I think it's both. Some people are saying that Alabama has a chance to win a national championship this year. I am not going that far, but Florida State could be on their way to another 2-win season. So I'm definitely going with Alabama here.
All right, top 10 matchup here, 6:30 on ABC on Saturday night. Number 9, LSU at number 4, Clemson. Clemson, the 3.5 point favorite. Camden, it's back to you up first in this one.
I went back and forth on this one, as I'm sure almost everyone has, but I'm going to go with Clemson just because they're at home, and I guess I'll put a little bit of faith in Cade Klubnik.
Give me one of the best players on the field for that game, Garrett Nussmeier. I think experienced quarterback. Give me LSU on the road to win that game. Brian Kelly will not be smashing the press conference table in the postgame.
Searles?
Yeah, I like LSU in this matchup as well. The talent is so good on that team. They recruited some unbelievable players. But yeah, Nussmeier is going to be the key here. I really like him, and I think he's got a chance for a Heisman candidate type of year this year. So go Tigers.
Josh?
I'm buying into the Clemson hype. I think that they are loaded, stacked. I'm not a Brian Kelly fan, so yeah, I'm going with going Clemson.
Searles, what does my dad always say? You never pick against LSU.
Never go against LSU at night until I picked them last year and they freaking lost.
In Death Valley, at night in Death Valley. This is another Death Valley. In fact, the first Death Valley, according to Google. So, but I'm not going with LSU. I'm going with Clemson. So if it was at LSU, probably pick the other way. But Clemson at home, I'm going with Clemson.
Ooh, we're
this
split
should
up
count
on
as
that
a win and a half. If we pick a road underdog and win straight up, this should be like 1.5 wins.
Pipe down, rookie. Don't be
gonna
coming
say,
in
that's
here
not how this
putting
works.
new
We
rules.
can-
No new rules, rookie.
Come on.
Next year.
Come on, man.
How about a little Pac-12 after dark, a little vintage Pac-12 after dark? Utah at UCLA, 10 o'clock on Fox. All right, let's all do this together. Where's UCLA?
In the Big Ten.
In LA. Come on.
We're in LA.
In case you missed
The
it.
Rose Bowl.
All right.
Pasadena.
So we have Utah coming in 6-point favorites. So who's up now? Kyle's up first.
Does it really matter? Because I'm probably going to lose anyway. Last year, Utah had a horrific year, but I think Kyle Whittingham, he's one of the best college coaches in the country. Give me Utah. They are a 6-point favorite. I do not think Nico Iamaleava is what. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Josh.
Nice. Good job.
What people think watching him play Tennessee last year. I don't get the hype. I understand he was a big time recruit. Give me Utah.
Yeah,
Girls.
I like Utah as well. I mean, if you look at Utah's offensive line, they have 2 tackles that are going to be day 1 and day 2 picks. Their center's another draft pick. Their offensive line, I think they're going to beat up UCLA a little bit. UCLA's got to remember, they're playing in the Big Ten now. They're still transitioning. Utah has been the bully of the Pac-12 when they've needed to because they play physical football. I don't think that changes under Whittingham. I think that Utah goes out there and beats up UCLA up front.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think that UCLA is moving in the right direction under Deshaun Foster, but Utah has been there. They've done that. I think they're going to be the tougher team. Give me the Utes.
Give me the Bruins. I'll mix it up here. Hey, UCLA came in here and had some fight last year, and so they got a lot of praise from Coach Rule and the staff, and so I'm going to go with the Bruins. I'm going to mix it up.
I'm also going to go UCLA.
Oh, let's
I talked
go,
to
Camden.
Wayne Cook,
Camden.
their sideline reporter, and he was pretty high
He
on
sold
this
ya.
year team.
This guy's leaning on the Big Ten Blitz a lot.
Let's hope the Big Ten Blitz people are wrong every week for Camden.
This thing better win an award, Camden.
And
I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to go, I'll trust Nico, and they brought in 31 transfers, so some of them have to do something, right?
All right, how about we get Sunday and Monday action in college football this week? So let's start on Sunday. Virginia Tech at South Carolina. The Gamecocks come into the season ranked number 13. They're an 8-point favorite. Searles, what do you got?
I like the Cox in this one. I think that they are a loaded team with talent, top to bottom. They had some flashes last year. I mean, taking teams right to the brink, top notch. I mean, they were knocking on the door of the college football playoff last year. And I think, they were one of the top 5 teams, top 3 teams in the SEC at one point. So I really like what they've got going on there. I like the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I've got Lenora Sellers as one of the top 1 or 2 people for my pick to win the Heisman this year. So I'm going with South Carolina as well.
Y'all know I'm a big Shane Beamer fan, so I'm going to roll with the Gamecocks. Give me South Carolina.
South Carolina at home. That will be my choice.
I am a buyer, not a seller on Lenora Sellers.
Oh.
Just a little bar for you out there. Give me South Carolina.
Wednesday night joke of the week.
That's
Kyle.
not jokes of the week. But you killed that segment, so we can no longer do it.
I didn't kill it. All right. How about Sunday night, 6:30 on ABC? Number 6 Notre Dame at number 10 Miami. The Irish
Throwback.
come in about a 2.5-point favorite in this one. Josh?
Yeah.
You got all the hard ones.
I
up
know.
first.
This one's tough. I became a Marcus Freeman believer last season, and I also think that the Canes maybe took a slight step back as well. So I'm leaning toward Notre Dame. Give me the Fighting Irish.
Searles, who do I never pick against?
usually don't ever pick against Notre Dame.
Exactly.
Those are Notre Dame and Penn State are your babies.
So Notre Dame it is. I'm rolling with it again this season, Camden.
Fighting Irish.
Pretty sure it's pronounced Notre Dame.
Oh.
Give me ND. You know why? Because it's not Cam Ward. It's Carson Beck. So give me Notre Dame defense against Carson Beck. Fighting Irish. Get the win.
Clean sweep there. All right. Final one.
Well, I picked Notre Dame as well.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I also will pick the Golden Domers.
All right. Monday night, 7 o'clock, TCU Horned Frogs at Bill Belichick's North Carolina. TCU coming in 3-point favorite. I guess I'm up first. I am going with TCU. Give me the Horned Frogs.
Let's go Bill Belichick in North Carolina. I'll do it. They're at home. Lots of hype. We'll say they beat TCU.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to pick North Carolina based on nothing but Bill Belichick's debut, which is probably the worst way, and TCU is probably going to win the game. But give me North Carolina.
Josh, we skipped you. Your turn.
No, it's your turn.
It's your
You're
turn.
after Kyle.
Oh, gosh, I can't keep this straight. There's
It's
too many
fine. There's
boxes
too many
on the
people.
screen. I also am with Kyle. I am with Bill Belichick. I don't think you can't root against one of the goats of NFL coaching forever and the Lombardi King and say he's going to lose his season opener. I just don't think it's going to happen. That team's going to be disciplined. They're going to come out there. They're going to be great. His girlfriend's going to be cheering in the cheerleading section. It's going to be fantastic. I think that North Carolina wins it all.
This was honestly one of the toughest games for me to pick this week. You can talk about all the other ones that were tough to pick, but it wasn't necessarily Bill Belichick. I flipped a coin. It came up Jordan Hudson. So that's one. That's the deciding factor.
All right, so a little split on that one. We have some differences here. Chance for somebody to separate here in week number 2. We have a Husker question
That's
now.
right.
Josh,
We
again,
do.
is coming up with this one. What do you got for us?
That's right. So it is a Husker-related question. Will there be more points scored in the first half or the second half of the Nebraska-Cincinnati game on Thursday? So
Total?
between both teams.
Say that one more time.
More points in the first half or the second half between both
Okay.
teams.
So the total
number of points scored in the first half.
Kyle, I
versus
think you're
second.
up first to pick.
I'm going to go second half. I think it takes a little bit for Nebraska to get settled in. Both teams, I think there's a little bit of stage fright that takes place. So with that naturally being week 1, give me second half. Both offenses ease in.
Searles?
I'm going to go first half. I think Nebraska comes out swinging.
I do too.
You know, I think that they're going to come out and want to put points up big time and roll and go. So I think that Nebraska's going to jump out early and shoot. We might have our backups in by the 4th, so we might not be scoring that many points.
Maybe running that football, Searles. just
Running
like
the
you
ball
like
and close the game out. Come on.
I'm glad this must have been a good question because we're split. I'm going second half to make it even because we know Jess is going first half. So, yeah, I'm going second half.
I'm with Searles. Give me the first half. They're coming out hot out of the gate, and they're running the clock in the fourth quarter.
Well, we saw last week and some of the offenses started off a little bit slow, so I'm going second half, thinking that they'll score, but I think second half will have more.
All right. That was a good one. I like it.
Have faith.
Again, these Big Ten picks brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. If you or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling, free treatment is available in Nebraska. Call Choices 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 for more information. Offices in Lincoln and Columbus. All right, Searles, toughest question of the day. Are you ready for Big Red Reaction? Coming up.
I can't wait. Me and Coatney are going to have an absolute blast as we're burning the midnight oil, just taking everyone's questions driving back from Kansas City. So be sure you call in, but don't be mean to me. It's my first time.
Awesome. Good stuff. Maybe Kyle won't quit on us this week, or maybe he will have another bad week and we won't even have to include him in this.
If you get a text from me Monday night, something happened. Like these picks went sideways and I'm done. And I say, you know what, guys, you have fun.
All right. Well, Nick Hanley is also playing along with us this season as well. He's going to give you his picks and where he stands in all of this coming up next. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Hey, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Good stuff from our panel. The Week 2 picks, including the big dog. Getting the Akrs read in, always fun. Kyle is hanging on by a thread. And how about Camden Cohen running the table? Good stuff there. Also, big shout out to Michael and Joseph in the chat. They were our winners of last week's pick. So good stuff from Michael and Joseph. And keep the picks coming. See the guys already getting their picks in there right now. Good stuff there. I'm going to fire through mine real quickly. I'm a little bit home team heavy with the exception of a couple of games. But I'm going Ohio State over Texas. Until you knock off the defending national champion, they still are the national champion. I like Tulane over Northwestern. I am on the UCLA bandwagon on this one. I'm going to take the Bruins to pull a bit of an upset against Utah. I like Baylor over Auburn. North Carolina, yeah, I'll take Belichick or his girlfriend, whatever, over TCU. South Carolina, really like that team. I got them taking down Virginia Tech. I'm going to take Clemson over LSU. LSU's a great team, but I'm with Hilkeman. I'm buying into Clemson a little bit more. So I'm going to take Clemson to defeat the Bayou Bengals. Georgia Tech over Colorado. Notre Dame over Miami. And yes, I agree with the panel. FSU, maybe still a year or two away, or a few more. I don't know, but it's not a great thing over there. Alabama, I also don't think is a national championship contender, but I think they are going to best Florida State in that one. A lot happening tomorrow, as you know. Nebraska kicks off the season. They will take on Cincinnati at 8 o'clock, Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And yes, we cannot wait, and we're going to get all of the pregame coverage started on the Huskers Radio Network at 4 o'clock with Husker Game Day, Ben McLaughlin, Damon Benning, Matt Coatney. You've got Kyle Crooks, Jessica Coody, and, of course, Damon Benning. And then, as you heard, don't forget to tune in to Big Red Reaction for your way home from the game, or if you're just sitting around and wanting to talk about what took place, it's going to be Matt Coatney and Jeremiah Searles for that one. So we've got a lot of game day coverage starting at 4 o'clock. We hope you'll check it out. We know you will. Go Big Red. Looking forward to this one, Nebraska, Cincinnati. Until tomorrow, have a great night. Big thanks to Camden Cohen, David Swotek, and our entire Huskers Radio Network crew. I'm Nick Hanley, thanking you for listening to Sports Nightly. Good night, everyone.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter agent Natalie Kerr in Lincoln, Michael Reeves in Omaha, or Julie Null in Plattsmouth.